Alrighty. Make sure I'm live, because YouTube does that thing. Okay, no, we're live. Okay, hello. Howdy how. Howdy how. Oh, Havoc is here first. For the Alliance. For the Alliance. Now I go to, which is funny, because I'm, traditionally I was a Horde player. Now I go to my Warlock lair and summon more demons to blind. To bind and serve humanity, the superior race. I mean, orcs are pretty fucking cool. Just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, hi Asmo, hey Vivek. Never played WoW. I did play Warcraft 3 back in the day, though. I will say this: you missed out on WoW, but not currently. Like traditionally, you missed out on it. I don't know if I envy you because you missed out on it, because I knew it when it was amazing, and watched it turn into what it has in retail. But I will say, during its heyday, you missed out. Especially if you played Warcraft 3 and enjoyed it. It was a very good follow-up to Warcraft 3. Hey, Pink. Hey, Diddliny. Hello. For the Horde, look Tardogar. Traditionally. Oh no. We got a Red Dawn fanatic. Oh. Havoc? Yeah. WoW was always too expensive. You're a Warhammer fan. I don't want to hear it. What? Sorry. Fuck. Try not to laugh that long. Okay. It's just. I did pass my driver test yesterday, so I'm looking at cars now. Wait, you only just did... I thought you were older than me. Are you younger than me, Vivek? Yeah, expensive. Or should I say Alliance dog in this case? Hey, that's right. Warhammer was cheaper when I was at the age when WoW was appealing. Well, at WoW's heyday, it was $60, $50 or $60, can't remember now. $50 or $60 for the core game, and then $15 a month. So if you had $75, just about, and usually, even back when it first came out, if you bought the game, you had like a certain amount of time complimentary in the servers with just the original purchase of $60. And then it was just $15 a month. You're 24. You are younger than me. Huh. That's a bit of a revelation. Here I was thinking Vivek was like a 30-year-old or something. Woo. We're starting off today with some interesting, like, within my community anyway, interesting revelations. I take exception to that remark, Whitney. I am disciple of God Emperor Garithos. I will say this, growing up is realizing Garithos had a point. Originally I thought he was such a dick, but now I'm like, he wasn't entirely wrong. My 24 passed so late because COVID got in the way. I booked my driving test 9 months ago. Okay. Well, you had to book it 9 months in advance. Damn, it's slow over there. Here, you only need like a week's notice. Like, you need to send in like your money and stuff, or you can go to the DMV and do it directly. And then they'll have you have the test. I will say this, good on you for passing. It took me, if I don't count the bullshit cancellations that happened a couple times, it took me about 7 or 8 attempts to get my license over the course of several years. I would think I was like 24, I was 22 or 23 actually when I got my license. Which feels weird because I remember it vividly because I was so fucking over the moon about getting it because after all the failed attempts, which I still stand by, I stand by that the test that I got my license and my third test where I drove equally as good. So I'm still livid that on my third attempt back when I was like 18, I didn't get my license. That would still demoralize the shit out of me. Then I proceeded to attempt to do it several more times over the course of several years. Finally getting it when, I was 23, which is ridiculous. But yeah, and COVID in my case also interrupted me getting my license, but technically my first few tests were before COVID broke out. Alright, so let me check. I kind of want to get more coyote steaks. Because I'm trying to level my cooking. Although my blacksmithing is at the bottom. Could go for some blacksmithing. I know there's a recipe I was trying to cook up. He was scum, unironically, unabashedly. I think, yeah, he was a dick. I'll definitely say that. And he was, again, on certain things, because as a kid, you see Garethos and you're like, okay, through and through, nothing, he's got nothing right, he's just the worst of the worst in all categories. I do think he had some points that weren't entirely wrong. I think he expressed them and exercised in the wrong ways. Like, his human supremacy, I'm totally down with that. I do think he went a little far when it handled the Blood Elves / the High Elves. I do think he handled that incorrectly. And I also think he was a bit idiotic to fall for Sylvanas' bullshit. I'm gonna go to the auction house, because I have an excess of heavy linen bandages. I'm gonna go sell some on the market. Gonna make that money. Gonna make that money. Gonna make that money. That was lame. Ah, boy. I don't know. This morning I was working on Warglaive stuff, and I kind of... You know that feeling where you're, like, getting really tired of, like, doing something you've been doing, like, constantly over the course of several days, and you need to take, like, a break? I guess I call it sizzling. It's like when you feel like you're about to catch fire, metaphorically, and then burn out. Yeah, I feel like I was starting to hit that point, so I decided, I'll chill and play some TBC Classic this morning. And now you're committed to your one MMO. SWTOR? Storytelling-wise, very good choice. I think the leveling in SWTOR is so fucking boring. It used to be more fun. SWTOR when it came out. And I played SWTOR when it first released. Oh, I'll never forget that cinematic trailer back in the day. Holy shit. Unironically, and this is what strikes me, the best short form Star Wars action ever is basically condensed into all SWTOR's cinematic trailers. Like, nothing from any of the movies matches it, and I'm including the prequels with their amazing action sequences, but still, it compares nothing to those animated trailers. They did so fucking... Like, I'm still amazed to this day how well those look. Like, peak Star Wars. Nothing tops it in terms of action. Storytelling, obviously, they're not very... There's lore and story in SWTOR behind those trailers, but it's not quite the term I'm looking for. It's not substantive in regards to the narrative or the storytelling of Star Wars, although there is storytelling. It's just behind a lot of action. But really, if you want like peak like representative action of Star Wars, SWTOR's cinematic trailers. Except for that last one, the last one with the Twi'lek and her master. The animation was a bit off on that one. I think by that point though they were teetering out. Wow, Mega Blocks, really? Earn the moolah, Asmo. I'm trying. Deeply relatable. Yep. Speaking of Asmo, I'll have to share a video later where someone made a whole mod where Garithos went. No, I've seen that. I know what you're referring to. Yeah, someone made a custom campaign in Warcraft 3, which was awesome. Where basically, I don't know if it's playable. I just saw the cinematic, culmination of it. I think it's playable. I think there's actual missions and stuff. But there's a whole custom campaign for Warcraft 3 where someone made it so Garithos wins. And it's like, basically he just takes over Arthas. Like, Arthas is literally sent to a beach to make sandcastles by him. Obviously, it's not accurate to any kind of lore. It's very cartoonish in some excesses. But if you're a Warhammer fan, like a 40k fan, I should say, you're going to appreciate it. And if you're also a Flash Gitz fan, you'll love it. Because it's got a little bit of that Flash Gitz humor, and it's got some of that Warhammer DNA into it. It's really fun. So, I don't remember the name of it, but there is a Garithos custom campaign where he basically takes over the campaign and solves every problem. Horde is the supreme faction. Not really. Horde actually have a lot of problems, but most of them are contrived narrative BS that happened post-Kata. Actually, Kata and on, I would say. Where I get to like level 40 by third planet without trying hard. Release level cap was 50. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it's so boring. Like it is, and I think you're agreeing with me. But leveling in SWTOR is so boring. It's click here, press a couple of abilities, and then you could literally get up and go to the bathroom, and everything's dead. Actually, unironically, I did a test one time. I can't remember how long ago. It was like a year ago, so might not be as true now. But I did a test in SWTOR a couple years back. How much is Heavy Linen going for? Maybe I can get some money out of this. Nope, I gotta specify bandages. Okay. Ooh, fuck. Oh wait, no, those are one-off sales. Okay, that's why. All right, let's look at the other people selling 20. All right, lowest bid for a 20 stack is 4 silver. So we're gonna do 4 flat silver. I'm gonna do 4 silver and copper. Alright, let's see if that sells. Hopefully it does. I also got some of this junk I don't need. Heavy short bow. But yeah, like with SWTOR's leveling, I left my character. I was a Sith sorcerer, and I had Kemval as my companion. I just left my guy in the middle of I think it was Nar Shaddaa, in the middle of a heavy mob zone for NPCs. I just walked away from my screen and went to the bathroom. I think I was gone like 10 minutes because it wasn't a number 1. I came back. I was perfectly fine, and Kemval had killed like 6 people. Like, I didn't need to be there. Granted, I was over-leveled for that part, but I was over-leveled because the quests, I was doing side quests. And if you do side quests alongside the main story quest, you over-level really fast. The story is great, but the leveling experience is boring. Which makes me miss when SWTOR came out. Because when SWTOR came out, I won't say it was... I would compare SWTOR's like leveling difficulty at release about equal to WoW was during Wrath. Maybe Kata. The point is... Oh, not Kata. I'd say Wrath. There was still... Oh, gotta go work. Alright, see you later, Pink. Don't let work get you down. I would say with Wrath, with Wrath, there was still that classic difficulty in the lower zones, and then, you know, when you get further along, you kind of had some streamlined stuff. Unfortunately, with the Dungeon Finder and stuff as well, you know. Anyway, point is, with SWTOR, I'd say, like, those early levels, especially when you didn't have your companion yet, you could die. If you pulled more than 2 mobs, you were going to die. Alright, so, let's see. Is it heavy shortbow or heavy... Yeah, heavy shortbow. Heavy shortbow. Alright, not many people are selling them. Most are selling for 7 silver. So, here's what I'll do. I'm going to go 6 starting. 6, 7... We're going to do 7... 0 flat. Alright, see if that sells. And Disciple Stein of the Whale. Disciple... I'm spelling this right. No, I'm not. Disciple Stein. D-I-S, C-I-P-L-E. C-I-P-L-E. I spelled it right. Alright, so no one's selling it right now. Okay. I can pretty much set the price. We'll do 7 flat, and then 720. Alright, see if that sells. You probably won't, but let's see. Alright, there we go. And do. Hey Marlena, welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while, hope everything's going good. Blizzard, no, have shiny light guy turn out to be bad guy. Let me scroll up, I missed some stuff. Hey Nico, we crafted some war or burning a crusade. Yes. All of the above. Also, hi Esmo, hi to you Nico. Jokes aside, I do wish the Alliance had a Warlock character, kind of an asshole noble that could be a foil. Well, we kind of had that. It wasn't a Warlock, but, can't remember his name now, but there was a character in Gilneas. Granted, he was like a villain, effectively. Like, they didn't carry him over, which I thought would have been fun. But he kind of reminded me of Nathanos. I'm trying to remember his name now, but it's the Worgen dude who, well, he wasn't Worgen. He hated Worgen. He wanted to kill all the Worgen. Trying to remember his name. I think they resurrected him as well as like an undead NPC or something. But yeah, he was a total dick. And I figured that if they had written that a little bit differently, Gen Greymane. No, Gen is the king. It's No, it's not Gen. It's not Gen. It's that noble dude who betrayed him and locked him up when he found out he was a Worgen. Yeah, I can't remember his fucking name. Damn it. I hate it when my memory is flawed. Argal? No, not Argal. Ah! Hold on, let me look it up. If I Google it right, maybe Google will grant me knowledge. Illness... Characters... That didn't get spelled right. Crowley. Lord Darius Crowley. No, that's the wrong guy. Not him. Wait, was it Lord Godfrey? Is that his name? Hold on. Ah, fuck this wiki. Sorry. For some reason, whenever I open up, like, the Wowpedia thing, it freezes my browser. I think it's because in the background, it's trying to, like, do a bunch of cookies and shit. Good fucking god, I hate that website. I think it was Lord Godfrey. But now I'm just trying to close that fucking tab. Come on, close. Alright, now I gotta do it on my phone because my browser's frozen because fucking Wowpedia is an overly advertised piece of shit. Alright. Lord Godfrey. Is that who I'm thinking of? No, not Godfrey. Godfrey, wow. Yes, Lord Godfrey. That's what I was thinking of. There you go. Vincent Godfrey, yeah. Yeah, that dickhead. I do think it would have been fun to have him stay loyal, just begrudgingly. Kind of basically be an absolute dickhead. Obviously, he was a warlock, but yeah, no, they could have made him a warlock later. But no, they made him an undead dungeon boss or something. Has Cataclysm? Yes, actually. Is the Lich King still mad at us? It's kind of hard to be mad at someone when you're dead. So, no? Yeah, barely remembered him. Yeah, he was an absolute dick. If the writing team wanted to make him a more long-term character, I could see him being like a Nathanos Alliance character. Alright, so I've put my stuff up for sale. I want to level my... I do want to level my blacksmithing. Alright, let's go to Goldshire. Let's go to Goldshire and do some leveling of that. Alright, so also something I wanted to talk about today, and I'll be bringing it up, but recently I found out about a big website and survey that's being done on behalf of Classic Plus. And I took the first survey on it, the intro survey, and it's got a lot of really good questions. It kind of reminds me of OSRS's kind of community surveys, which I really like. And it is something I always thought WoW would benefit from, is actually starting to poll their fucking community properly. Which they still probably won't. And also I should say that this website and these polls that are being hosted are not being hosted by Blizzard. They're being hosted by fans who are basically trying to accumulate metadata and info and community polling for Blizzard. And Blizzard have hinted at wanting to do Classic Plus. So I'm hopeful that they will. The one thing I will say is I don't know if I trust the modern devs to do Classic Plus. I can trust them to make TBC Classic, for example, right? Because all that is just copy and pasting what they've already done. Just don't touch it. Like, put it in as it was then, and then hands off, outside of server maintenance. With Classic Plus, though, there's actual development. There's dev times, there's actual content to be added, and I don't know if I trust Blizzard to do that. I guess I'll be more frank, I don't trust them to do it. But at the same time, if Classic Plus isn't done, WoW, I don't know, I definitely say I'll be done with WoW, because there's going to be a point where I eventually get tired of playing TBC over TBC Classic, and then once they re-release the Anniversary Edition of Wrath, that's eventually coming, I'll get tired of playing that, and I'll get tired of playing that after many, many hours, but I will get tired of it, and I will walk away. Hopefully. But there's only so many times you can re-release classic content over and over again and expect people to replay it for the 80th time. So I think the only future WoW really has is in Classic Plus. Sorry, I'm looking for a node. And I don't want to attract the wolves, because it's... Not that I couldn't kill them easily, it's just it's annoying. Usually there's like one on this rocky outcropping, but someone might have got it already. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I got plenty of copper to smelt down. Would I live in Shadowland? Are you high? Because definitionally that's an oxymoron. Would you live in the land of death? No. Was the battle really for Azeroth? Definitely not. I mean, yeah, no, it really wasn't. Not on a meta front, that's for sure.
Hey there.
Alright, is there anything... Okay, no, I'm up
See
to
you
snuff on my training. Schmelt. Alright, let's smelt the tin down. Don't forget the Archbishop guy in the Stormwind Church who joined Deathwing. Fair point. Although I did forget him because I didn't care. Let's go to Goldshire, living dangerously. Hey, we're not on an RP server, okay? We're safe. For now. Thankfully, all those types are still playing retail. They are not playing classic. The concept of Classic Plus is great. Season of Discovery had some nice things, but at this point, Blizz are not trustworthy to make what multiple private servers have done right already. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have... The thing is, the private servers like Turtle WoW are not safe. As it is, Project Ascension, I'm shocked that hasn't been taken down. I think that Project Ascension, though, is safer than something like Turtle WoW. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Blizzard bring up, or try to bring up RICO charges, of all things? I don't know, they brought up something like excessive against Turtle WoW. And they brought it up against like their like US representative because they couldn't do it to the actual Turtle WoW devs themselves because I think they're in like an ex-Soviet country or something. Somewhere where, you know, they can't get like any legal clutches on. But like WoW, like Blizzard are determined to bring down any server that is providing a WoW experience that is popular outside of what core WoW, which they get money for. So it's not safe to be on any private server for World of Warcraft. How within was the war? I don't know. I haven't played War Within. I have no interest. Yeah, I'd say the only way Classic Plus is going to work is if Blizzard just put in a bunch of classic nerdy dudes that aren't political activists and say, hey, your project, we're putting all of our woke bullshit, we're shoving that up the ass of retail, but we don't give a shit about Classic or Classic Plus. You nerd dudes that are just normal nerds wanting to make something cool and fun, yeah, you guys handle that because we need to be making money somehow. Will they do that? I highly doubt it. When their company culture is so ubiquitous with basically a far-left activist hodgepodge, I don't see that happening. But I have the right to hope that there's someone at the top who's like, okay, we do actually kind of still need to be making money, and if we just keep up with this stuff and we don't do anything at all, you know. Right now, WoW will never die. I will say that. There's too many whales, there's too many people who define their life by World of Warcraft. It's just not going to happen. Like, WoW will outlive a lot. Have you heard anything about Azeroth at War? The one where they had expanded faction races, Horde getting ogres and forest and trolls and and forest and frost trolls I can't talk. Alliance getting broken fur bogs and murlocs plus necromancer class. I have not, but I'm assuming that's a private server. Been a year and nothing about it has been coming up. Blizzard has an extremely draconian structure. They'd never let any dev team have such autonomy. Yeah. And that's what I'm worried about. Like, Classic Plus, I have very little hope in. I have a little, because it's it's the only avenue in which WoW is going to live. If they don't do what Classic WoW or Classic Plus correctly, then WoW is kind of doomed eventually. Which, you know, I'm fine with at this point. Blizzard kind of deserved to fall apart. It'll be a very long time, though, because WoW can coast for a long time. There's too many people who they can't not play it. I mean, I'm fucking here. So, I'm saying this from experience. And I'm not saying this as an outside force. I will say this: I would have been able to stay away from WoW if they hadn't been smart and made classic TBC and Wrath. Like, that is the smartest shit Blizzard has ever done. Like, whoever had that idea to actually be like, you know what, the fans want it, why don't we just fucking do it? Whoever said that in their offices and told J. Allen Brack he was wrong, you saved Blizzard. Like, that person, they're probably left the company by now, if they had the brains to come up, like, acquiesce to that. But, yeah. Just saying. Alright, so we just smelted that down. Now, there was something I wanted to make in particular. No, not the belt. I got the belts. The pants. Ah, fuck, I need fine thread. I know there's a place I can get fine thread. It's just not in Goldshire. Fuck. Wait, is that better than the pants I'm wearing? I think it is. Yeah, because we're, well... Pants I'm wearing got +3 strength. This is +2 strength, but +2 stamina. Yeah, that's actually better. Same armor, though. Well, for now, I'll just make stuff that will level my abilities. Weak flux. I already checked the general goods vendors in Goldshire. He does not. He has fine thread. He has another kind of thread. It's not the right kind. Yeah, because he's over here trade supplies.
Well met.
He has coarse thread. He doesn't have fine thread.
Go with honor.
He does have the weak flux, though. Let me grab those.
King's honor, friend.
I grabbed 4.
For the Alliance.
I think there might be one other vendor that might have it. Hold on. General supplies. Ah, I overwalked.
I buy and trade.
Nope. Nada. Damn. Thank you, good sir. You are level 16. What are you doing in Goldshire? Get your ass to Westfall. Dark. Well, I am in Westfall. My Hearthstone is set to Sentinel Hill. I'm still finishing up over there, actually. Yeah, I'm doing People's Militia, which that's going to take a while, and then I got Defiance Brotherhood. I'm in Goldshire because it has... maybe I'm forgetting where it is, but I can't remember where in Westfall there's a forge, or a place for me to do my blacksmithing. So I've been coming back to Goldshire to do it. Because it's not on Sentinel Hill. Because Sentinel Hill has the tower, which doesn't have any kind of like forge or anything in it. And then it has the lumber mill. Obviously, there's nothing to do with blacksmithing there. And then it has the inn, which has a hole in the ceiling. So, yeah. Well, yeah, well, I'm not in Thornwind right now. I actually do need to go to Ironforge though for Stormpike delivery. I keep meaning to do that, but I keep delaying. Could make 2 copper claymores. Yeah, let's do that. We could sell those. You need to play with friends? Yes, you do. And if you play retail, there's no point in playing with friends, but if you play, I don't want to use 2-handed, but... Alright, so for a normal trade, it's 2 silver, but if I go to Stormwind, how much can I sell it for? Did you hear about Lordaeron: The Aftermath? It was one of those Warcraft 3 custom games. Had a lot of alternate history options post Frozen Throne. That was really cool. I don't know that one off the top of my head, but I might know it from back in the day if I were to like look at it. But by the name, no, I don't recognize it. Alright, so while we're traveling, I guess I'll bring this up now. So the surveys I was talking about, hold on, let me do this. So yeah, we'll put it back up here. Alright, so the survey I was talking about that I did this one. So the Classic Plus project, like, website, again, it's not Blizzard owned. It actually looks Blizzard owned. It's a very well done website. But it's being hosted by fans who are putting together, again, like, polling data for Blizzard. And I did the intro survey. And these are the results of the intro survey. I haven't gone through those yet, and I kind of want to on stream because I think it'd be entertaining. But I'll also tell you guys like what my answers were to the intro survey as we go. Let me move up here a bit more. Ah, that music. Hits every time. Made by a better company. Many years ago. Alright, let me move my guy in a bit more, and then we'll go through the poll. Oh yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up tomorrow. All you gentlemen out there who have a young lovely lass, make sure you get her the necessaries, the chocolates, the cards, the love. Yeah, I got my girl a card. I also got her some chocolates that are over there. I got her some cards for Steam. Yeah. Plus, we're gonna take her out to a nice dinner. It's gonna be nice. Alright. So, let me click off here. So, actually, let me... How did that guy get all the way up there? Gary Bank. Okay. Alright, so... The Classic Plus community thing that was put together. I decided to do the survey, and this was the survey for the initial survey for Classic Plus. So I'm just gonna go through it real quick. Actually, I'll click record. Who knows? Maybe I can throw this up as a video. All right, so this is the Classic Plus surveys that the fan folks are putting together for Blizzard. This isn't being hosted by Blizzard, like I said before, so I don't know as if this is going to do anything. God knows that the surveys Blizzard hosts themselves, they don't really do much with, it feels like, most of the time. But who knows? You know, shot in the dark is better than no shot at all. So I'm just going to go through the questions. I've already answered it, as I showed here. I've already taken it. So I'll just tell you guys what my answers were for each question, and then we'll look at the results. This shouldn't take too long because it's very, very well put together. But question one was, which faction do you usually play? Now, for me, I said I switched between both factions. Traditionally, like back in the day, I was a Horde player. I was Horde dedicated from Vanilla WoW to, I want to say, mid TBC. And then I became kind of Alliance dedicated, not by like actual allegiance to the Alliance, but just because the guild that I was most active in was an Alliance guild. About end of TBC, beginning of Wrath, I became an Alliance player just by the fact that, again, the guild that became kind of like my mini family in World of Warcraft uh was an Alliance guild. So I was pretty active in Alliance at that point, but again, I still lore wise preferred the Horde, and I still had my Horde characters that my alts that I would go on during that time. But my main became my Alliance character. So yeah, I said I switched between the both, but everything post Wrath, like every time I've dipped my toes back into WoW, I've always just kind of lost any kind of allegiance for one or the other. And it seems like the majority of folks agree with me. 41.5% said switch between both. Question 2, which race would you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. The two I picked was human and orc. Which is fitting because humans number 1, not shocking at all. Orc number 2, again, not shocking. Honestly, what I'm kind of surprised by is that Tauren is below whatever is best for the thing I'm doing. Well, BIS, but it's essentially whatever is best for the thing I'm doing. Tauren is below that. I don't know. I feel like there's like some dedicated Tauren fans, so I'm surprised that that's below like the generic answer. But yeah, human and orc, I kind of fit the mold on that with like the majority. That Mombi Life. I almost read Mombi Wife. I don't even know what that is. But that Mombi Wife, what's up? I always played Alliance. Fair enough. I always liked the Horde back in the day. Alliance, I do think, has like the most like mass appeal though, because it's like your typical like fantasy trope, like good guys, right? But let's see. Question number 2: what class do you consider your main? Feel free to pick multiple. Now, I only picked one. That's Warrior, because Warrior is like my go-to from all the eras. Wrath, I became a Death Knight. Not, I won't say Death Knight main, but my second most played character was definitely my Death Knight. My main character during Wrath was my Prot Warrior. I was main tank for our guild constantly, and I did like that. I think I've grown fond of Paladin over the years. I don't know if it's just like you get older and that like knightly holy warrior for like the faith, the holy light kind of starts to appeal to you more as you get older as a young man. But I don't know. As I've grown older, Paladin's certainly become a lot more attractive aesthetically and like role play wise. But I think Warriors is pretty definitively my top. And it seems like again, majority so far, questions 1 through 3, I seem to be fitting the generic mold of like the majority. Warlock, that's what stories. Trolls got ruined for me, and rarely ever saw Tauren. Huh. I'm surprised Tauren is so high. Really? I mean, I will say this, like gnomes being at the bottom, that's a given. Gnomes. The only two, well, I'll say 3 types of people play gnomes. 1, the smallest percentage, which are the people who actually think gnomes are interesting and fun. 2, dads. I've noticed like older dads who are like playing with their kids, or just even if they're not playing with their kids, but they're just like a very dad focused guy. They would play a gnome just because I guess it's funny. And then you have trolls. Not the trolls as in the race, but the trolls as in the archetype of human being. Trolls, people who want to fuck with you, people who want to piss you off in PvP the most, are playing gnomes because like can you like being killed by a gnome is demoralizing, and they know it because it's like I just got killed by the littlest. I got killed by basically the Chihuahua of the race archetypes. So like those are the 3 types of gnomes. So gnomes are very, very much disliked or actively not played. So I'd say that fits for gnomes. But question 4: how old are you? Now I'm 26, so I'm 26 to 30. I figured that 26 to 30 would be like the majority, right? But apparently, according to the survey, most people playing Classic, or at the very least, most people who gave their opinion on a Classic Plus, were 31 to 36, which I'm not surprised that it's that older crowd that are the majority. I'm surprised it's not 41 to 46. Like, that's actually younger than I thought. Might I ask what ruined trolls for you? For me, all of the trolls are excellent except Zandalari. I hate those. To me, they are Primaris trolls. I could see what you mean by that. What ruined trolls for me was... Well, to be fair, I was never a hardcore troll fan, but I did like them passively. I think what made me like them less was the Zandalari during BFA. I think that's when I started actively disliking trolls, like in terms of like how they fit into the lore of the setting. Um, I really like the troll. My peak liking of the trolls was when Vol'jin became War Chief, because I already knew his lore from Warcraft 3 and the expanded campaign and that, and then all that like extra fluff. I already really liked Vol'jin from that. So him being kind of like the rep of trolls really helped their PR with me. But like when he died and then we got the Zandalari and BFA, I actively grew to dislike them. So that would be why. Yeah, I really didn't like them being like a special Uber faction at that point. Yeah, they did Vol'jin extremely dirty. Yeah, one of many, many terrible writing decisions that the writers behind Blizzard have made. But the sad thing is that is still more Warcraft than anything that they've done with this latest like series of expansions. Shadowland. I'll say this: BFA was kind of the death of WoW as like a lore to me. Everything that's happened after that, I kind of only tune into to laugh at it or to feel, or to just like give some sympathy to the people who are, for some reason, still sticking around thinking things are going to get better. You can't really unfuck like WoW lore at this point. That's why Classic Plus, like I said, is kind of the only future WoW really has. Retail is a future, but it only appeals to Zoomers. Uh, I will say it, women. It appealed to women, especially with like the push of like that Disneyfication aesthetic that is kind of coming through. Like retail WoW does not appeal to guys, like normal men. If you're more of an effeminate man, or you're more in touch with like the softer side, maybe it appeals to you. But like if you're a traditional guy who likes traditional guy things, retail WoW has really nothing for you. If anything, it actively dislikes you. So, yeah. So how do... let's see. Every day... Okay, so question 5. How often do you play WoW each week? Now, my answer was kind of iffy. I was like... Personally, I was going to say a few hours a week, because it is, like, very limited these last few weeks. But I decided to go with over 10 hours a week, because I am almost at that point. But that's only if I stay up really late when I get home from work, because I just had like a rough day and I just need to relax. And I don't know, I go grinding, I go blacksmithing, or I do something on my warrior and just kind of passively relax until I feel so tired and I want to go to bed. But I'd say I was saying I just barely meet the mark for hitting over 10 hours a week. So that's what I put as my answer. Although more aptly, it's more like a few hours a week. Let's see. Question 6. What? Oh yeah, I should say. As for the results, I kind of don't believe this one. I will say, like when it comes to like people's results. Oh, let me make that bigger just in case it's too small. I don't know as if I believe people who are saying, "Oh, I play every day, over 20 hours." I don't think so. No. Are you playing a paladin tank for TBC? I'm playing a warrior tank, right now. Warrior, it's my first character on TBC Classic so far. I didn't, I resubbed. Well, I resubbed to play with my friend, a friend of mine who is playing, Mists Classic, which I don't even know how you can call that classic, but I resubbed to play with him because I wanted to play a game together, and that this is like the main thing he was playing at the time, which is kind of funny because recently he ended his subscription. So now my subscription's still going, but I'm sticking around for TBC Classic. But TBC, I've only made the one character so far, and that is my warrior. Mostly I've been working on professions, to be honest, but I'm slowly leveling. I'm taking my time. I'm kind of just enjoying it. I'm not running to get to raid or dungeon content too quickly. Although I'm at the level I can start doing dungeons, and I am in a guild. Funny story about that, but first and foremost, I guess I'll try and push through more of these questions. But yeah, I don't know as if I believe the 20 plus hours thing. I think a lot of people are saying that, but I don't think I don't know as if I believe it's the majority. I think most people, to be fair, this is just the poll of people who've actually seen the poll and are taking the time to answer it. So you are going to get the more dedicated people who are going to answer surveys like this. But if I'm going to speak to what I think is the truth for Classic as like the actual players playing it, I'm going to say that most people excuse me. I'm going to say that most people are playing at most over 10 hours a week. And I don't think that this poll these answers for this poll anyway really represent the actual like player base. Let's see. Question 6. What is your experience with various iterations of vanilla, classic, World of Warcraft? Check all that apply. I checked several of these. I checked 2004 vanilla, 2004 vanilla WoW, because I was there. I wasn't there at launch, so like that part of the answer is not true. But I was there. I want to say 3 to 4 months before TBC dropped. I think TBC had been announced when I started playing World of Warcraft. But yeah, I played back in the day with vanilla. I had a solid 4 month stint in vanilla, and then TBC dropped. My dad bought us the expansion, and then I played a lot of TBC. But yeah, I was there back during vanilla technically, but at the very end of it. I did a Season of Discovery. I didn't do. I think I missed out on Season of Mastery. I could be wrong though. I did do Classic Anniversary. I was there for the 2019 Classic relaunch. I was so fucking hyped. That was awesome. Oh, I was so hyped for that. That was awesome. I will never forget. I will say I have new permanent memories attached to WoW from that. Like I never thought I'd have like formative or not formative, but like iconic memories of WoW post Wrath ever again. But the classic relaunch gave me some new ones. I'll never forget the conga lines to kill Hogger. That was so cool, dude. That was so much fun. And the best part is everyone was neatly organizing themselves. None of it was like controlled. Everyone was just like, hey, I would just build a line. First 4 people at the front, kill him. Like, form a group, kill him, get the quest over with, move. Next 4. Like, that was so funny. Oh, God, that was awesome. But, yeah, I hit several of these, but my main one, I guess, is the 2004 Vanilla WoW. And that's, yeah, I'm in the midsection. But it was interesting for me to see that the majority of the people filling out the survey, the majority of people were saying, like, the Classic relaunch was their experience with WoW Classic. Question 7. What role do you usually play? I usually play tank, but I can and do often play DPS. The one, more or less, I guess I'd say I'm DPS and tank. I don't play healer. I utterly and completely refuse to play healer in World of Warcraft. I never will play healer in World of Warcraft. I objectively refuse. I do not play healer in World of Warcraft. I have had very bad experiences with being a healer in this game. I will never play healing. Ever. But yeah, tank and healing. Tank and DPS. And I'm actually not surprised DPS is number 1. I mean, come on. Most of these, the classes and specializations feed into DPS, so makes sense. What regions do you play from? NA. I was actually surprised EU was number 1. I would have figured NA was number 1, but here we are. If the devs had it their way, it would be called World of Homecraft, or Peacecraft. Some people made that joke, World of Peacecraft. Yeah, it was very depressing to hear. Granted, we heard it secondhand, so I don't know how true it is. But I believe it. That Chris Metzen said that he wished they had never called it Warcraft. Like, I don't know what happened to that man. Maybe it's just being in California turns you into a pussy, but I feel so bad for that man. Like, what he used to be and what he is now, to completely different people. Completely different people. Like, that's just disgraceful. Like, he's totally lost the plot. Totally lost it. All right. Question 9. Which of the following labels describe you? Choose as many as you feel is accurate. I'd say casual raider is. Well, my answers were casual raider, leveler, and completionist were like the three. The completionist, I guess I'm being very, very generous by applying to myself. When I do something in WoW, I do it like obsessively, like the professions. I love doing professions. I love like hyper focusing on them a lot. So there's elements of that. I would say obviously the poll is kind of asking like, oh, in all regards, are you a completionist? Like, do you want to do absolutely everything in the game? And that's not technically true in my case. But I'm gonna apply it to myself all the same because with the things that I do them to the best and like to the max that I can. But I was surprised Casual Raider was number one. I would have figured what I thought was going to be the number one answer was Leveler. But I guess like Casual Raider, Leveler is number two, and then PvP player. You know, I would say like the top three are what I thought would be the top three, just not in this order. I didn't think it would. I thought it would be Leveler, Casual Raider, and PvP player. That's what I kind of figured would be the answer. But I don't know. It's still pretty close to what I thought. Question 10. How likely are you to play Classic Plus? My answer was I'm extremely skeptical of the project, so excuse me, it'll depend on how the launch goes. And that's still my answer. I'm still skeptical. As it is, I'm certain it will not be what people want it to be because it's Blizzard making it. And also Blizzard aren't the one hosting this poll. That should tell you a lot. It's modern Blizzard that will be making it, and I don't trust them to do it right. So Demonology Warlock, I tank. You don't tank. The other things tank. You create the tank. Yeah, I don't know. I do think the majority answer on this one kind of depresses me. 48.2% said I can't wait to log in. Why? Like pattern recognition, people. Why are you playing classic and not retail? Oh, retail sucks. Like, retail completely misses the plot and has completely failed me as a WoW player. Oh, okay. And you said you can't wait to log into Classic Plus? Oh, well, yeah, bro. I just can't wait. Yeah. Oh, I'm fucking excited, man. Who's making Classic Plus? Oh, Blizzard. And who makes retail, the form of the game that you absolutely fucking hate, to the point that you're not playing it? Or if you are playing it, you're not playing it as much as Classic because you have interest in Classic Plus. Oh, well, Blizzard, of course. Pattern recognition, people. Like, I'm very disappointed that so many people were saying, yes, I can't wait to log in. Fuck me. the people are fucking dumb. Be skeptical. Like, I don't know why people are so toxically like optimistic. It's like if Classic Plus comes, it'll be made by the same people who make the game we hate today. Oy. All right, question 11. Would you pay a box fee for Classic Plus? If so, how much? My answer was, it depends on what it is shown and promised. I will say I understand the need for a... Hey, Purist. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I will say I understand that with Classic Plus, it can't just be with the subscription. Here's why, and here's why I accept an argument for that. It's because Classic Plus is extra development alongside the development of retail. Now, again, I don't give a shit about retail. That can burn and die for all I care. But they are still technically developing that. There's still dev time and employees being dedicated to advancing retail WoW. So for them to do Classic Plus, they would need to add development focus of that. There's not really any development around Classic currently. It's mainly just running events and stuff like that. It's mainly just running, making sure their servers are running. But there's no new stuff they're really developing as of yet. Well, I'm sure they are now because they have hinted very heavily they are doing Classic Plus. It's just in what capacity will that look and how will that be delivered? But I can understand that because it's going to be a whole nother strain. Basically, it's going to become a whole nother game rather than just like a unique like era server. It's becoming its own extended development cycle. So because of that, I can understand a box price, and I can accept one. Would I say it's fair to ask $60? Fuck no. Fuck no, because you know that they're gonna put a B team on it. It's basically gonna be an indie level focus. So I'd say I'd pay 20, maybe 40, if what they had to showcase for what they had planned was good enough to afford 40. But I'd say probably closer to 20, assuming optimistically that they actually do it right. But before I'd even put any money down, they'd have to really sell it to me. They'd have to really sell it to me. Like they can't be light with it. They have to. Here's the 10-year plan. Here's step by step by step what we want to do. We're gonna do community polls at every single juncture along the way to see what you guys like, what you don't like. We're gonna take out what you don't like, and we're gonna add in what you like. Like really lay it on thick. Because if you don't, I don't trust you to do it. As it is, I don't trust them to do it. But yeah, they'd have to do a lot to sell it to me. All right, so the next ones were like on a scale of 1 to 10 questions, if I recall correctly. So with these, I will admit I was a bit wishy-washy. With these. So with question 12, Unreal Engine S graphics, lighting, polygon count, etc. I said, and this is like, do you want this? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 being you absolutely don't want it, and 10 you absolutely want it. I said like 3 or 4. Because when it comes to graphic stuff, I don't think it's like bad to add in fancier graphics, as long as the spirit of classic is maintained. So on this, I gave like a 3 or a 4. I am obviously more leaning towards I want them to keep to a classic vibe and to a classic aesthetic. I don't really want them to switch to Unreal Engine. Question 19, modern WoW character models. On this one, I said 2. The reason it's not 1 is because I do want them, again, to update the aesthetic of the models, still keeping in line with classic aesthetic, very, very polygonal, very cartoonish, very basic figures. But I do feel like they could add a little bit more to them without losing the substance of that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Playing Pauldron Cancer the game, I suppose. Leveler kind of sounds like altaholic. That's what a leveler is. It's an altaholic. Ugh. And let's be honest, everyone was an altaholic at least at one point during their time in WoW. At least, like, everybody was at least at one point. There was a point where you leveled your favorite character, you had all the gear you wanted for that character, and you wanted to play another class just for the fuck of it. Not because you were going to dedicate any real time to it, so let's be honest. But Modern WoW character models, and most people said 1, which surprised me. I don't know, maybe I'm black-pilled on what I think, like, and to be fair, this right here does black-pill me. Like, so many people saying, yes, I absolutely trust Modern Blizzard to be able to do this right. Like, that depresses me. But this answer kind of surprises me, that most people said 1. That they didn't, they don't want the Unreal Engine, they want to stay to the original. I would have figured a lot of people, like, are kind of graphics whores. So I figured most people would say 10 or 9 or 8, something like that. But for so many people to say, no, 1. No thank you. Kind of surprises me. And same with, like, the WoW character models. Like, 1. Like, 25% of everybody said, nope, keep them original. And, okay. Let's see. Modern WoW character animations. Now, this one's I thought was basically the same as 13. Obviously, it's a little different, but it's basically the same. This one I said 4. Because, again, they could update the animations just a little bit. They don't need to make them one-for-one like retail WoWs. Just, update them a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want them to overhaul everything to be retail. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the community. 27.4% said 1. Question 15. So in this one, modern WoW spells. On this one, I was very wishy-washy. I said 7. Because I would like to see, like, really cool particle effects and stuff like that for, like, the powers and stuff. I think that would be cool. I don't know as if I want it, like, 1-for-1 retail, again. Because retail, like, makes even basic-ass abilities way too flashy. Like, a basic fireball spell should be fairly reserved. It's your weakest spell. Yes, it's going to be a spell you're casting probably the most for the longest period of time, but it's also your basic bitch spell. The crazier or more powerful spells, though, those ones I think yeah, you could add some effects to that, and there would be no harm to it. But no, the community was like, nope. Keep them real basic. Keep them classic. No, and I think that's fair. Question 16 was Modern WoW UI. This one I said 1. I said 1. I was like, nope. Nah, I'm good. Sadly, it looks like most people said 10. Yeah, they absolutely want Modern WoW UI. I don't know why. Like, the classic look is so good, and it's perfectly serviceable for all your abilities. Like, if you really, really don't like the classic UI, then just get Elv UI or an add-on that changes your UI. Why would you want Blizzard's modern one? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there, but yeah. Question 17, how would you like Blizzard to handle the server rollout? Now this one I said no opinion because I'm not sure how to handle it correctly, to be fair. But it seems like most people said 1 mega PvP server and with faction balance enforced, and 1 mega PvE server with no faction balance enforced. Okay, I'm not sure how they're gonna do that though. Like, I guess the easy way to do it is basically like, oh, we have like 1,422 Horde players, and we have 1,000. What did I say was the previous number? Sorry, I'm already fucking myself up. Like, let's say a scenario where they say, oh, we have 1,000 Horde players, and we have 998 Alliance players. It's like, okay, the next 2 people to make a character have to make Alliance characters. Or accounts, and they have to make an Alliance character. Like, if it's going to work like that, that's going to be kind of annoying. But, I don't know. I'd like to see how they'd handle that, but I think I'd prefer a more condensed server list, like Season of Discovery. But, again, I put no opinion, because, again, I'm not sure what the right move is there. How would you feel if Classic Plus had an element of seasonal servers resetting every couple of years? Now, in this one, I said, fuck no. Like, no, don't reset the servers. The majority said depends on a lot of factors, not sure, which I can respect that. It's like, oh, they kind of want to hear the argument. But for me, Blizzard's lazy. What they're going to do for a reset is reset it. Like, I think what a lot of people who said that answer depends on a lot of factors. I think what they're thinking is, oh, well, maybe they'll preserve our characters and they'll just reset like everything else. I don't think they're going to do that. Oh, fuck, I forgot to put the swords up for sale. Let me do that real quick. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just going to reset everything, and all your character progress you made on your characters is going to be lost if they reset servers. Like, they're not going to preserve some things and reset others. So, for me, no, don't do it, because I don't want to lose my character progress. And again, the whole point of Classic Plus is not to be like a seasonal server where things like switch up depending on events and stuff. It's meant to be kind of like its own branch off of the WoW progression tree. It's supposed to be added to. It's not supposed to be reset constantly with new shit and then delete all that shit and then reset it again. That's what Season of Discovery and Season of Mastery were for. Is to have like those. I don't know if they did server resets. I can't remember, but I know that they like reset the events and stuff and reset like special things going on. I don't want them to reset the whole fucking server. So my answer is pretty definitively no. Don't reset, because they're going to do it in the laziest form. Question 19, how would you feel about layers in Classic Plus? Now, if I'm not misunderstanding what layers are just like, oh, within a server, there's layers like of which you can see other players. Like there's the first layer, second layer, third layer, and it's all done to avoid too much congestion or to avoid the world becoming too overpopulated so you can't see or do anything past player icons. So I'm fine with layers. I said layers are fine. Because it makes sense if there's too many people playing and you literally can't see or do shit because you're waiting through that many other players. I don't think they're really going to need to worry about that. I don't think there's going to be that many... I mean, in Durotar and in Storm... Yeah, in Stormwind and in Durotar... Maybe. But I don't know. Everywhere else, I don't think it's going to be a problem. should the size of raids be reduced from 40? Now, this one I wasn't sure on. I said, personally, I'd like to reduce the raid size to 20 and allow more than that if you guys are struggling and stuff. I can't remember them doing that in Season Discovery, but apparently they did. So, yeah, I'd say, like, allow people to run raids with 20, as few as 20 people. And if necessary, they can bring more. As long as the raid is challenging and they don't scale it to just how many people you bring, you scale it to be as difficult as possible. And if people are talented enough with 20 people, they can handle it. It's also a way to add, like, an artificial layer of difficulty for yourself, I think. Should Dungeon Finder be implemented? I said fuck no. This depresses me. This depresses me. Enough of the fancy graphics, prioritize performance and good netcode. Yeah, I think that it should be prioritized. Graphics are banned until the point of the game becomes fun again, Flork. Yeah. I honestly, I stand by that. Like, the fun of the game and the story of the game should greatly dwarf graphics in importance. I think graphics are fine as addressing if what it's dressing on top of isn't rotten, isn't terrible. But with Dungeon Finder, I said no. I don't want any Dungeon Finder. I was really hard against this. I really think the people who answered this way are stupid. I'll be frank. I think the people who answered yes, but only to group you, it's still up to you to get a travel into the dungeon. You're giving an inch and they're going to take a mile. It's going to start out with this bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, but it's only to group people up. Okay. How long till everyone gets annoyed that the grouping up and everyone's halfway across the map from where the dungeon's supposed to take place? How long till the people in those situations get so frustrated they say out loud, oh, God, I wish they just summoned everyone to the dungeon. How long? We're just going to repeat history. We're going to get the full Dungeon Finder in retail all over again. Everyone's going to get summoned to the dungeon. Everything's going to get turned back into this conveyor belt of bullshit. No one's going to talk to each other. People are going to actively tell each other to shut the fuck up if they dare talk. It's going to happen. In the current format, you have to talk to other players and converse. You need to socialize. You need to make guilds. You need to create communities. Yes, it's more effort. Yes, it's more complicated. Yes, it's more frustrating. That's the point. If you give an inch, they will take a mile. It will start out as just grouping people together conveniently. It's going to devolve. It's destined to. The answer to this should be flat no. And the fact that 67% of morons were like, yes, let's repeat history. Let's do this bullshit all over again. This can't possibly go wrong. Fucking morons. Alright, question 22. Should summoning stones outside of dungeons and raids be implemented? Now, yes, this is just a yes. Like, yeah, go ahead. Now, obviously, like, paired with question 21, that would kind of solve that problem. Like, for, like, summoning stones. But still, I don't want a dungeon finder. Because without a dungeon finder, you actually have to talk to the fucking people. You actually have to converse. You actually have to... Gonna get lunch. Be back in a bit. Fair enough. Alright, see you when you get back, Havoc. Yeah. I'll go back, Pink. Yeah. This is a bad move. If you put in the effort to create a group with somebody, you're less likely to be an asshole. Because you have to be socially kind and respectable, or at the very least cordial, to do things right. This is just gonna bring back assholes. Assholes are already there, by the way, but they're just gonna be open assholes. Alright, so Copper Claymore. Let me real quick check how much that is. Oh wow, people are selling up for a lot. Here's what I'll do. I'll do 13. I'll do 13.20. And I'll sell for 13. I'll sell for 13.80. And we'll just save that one. Boom. Alright, let's see if anyone bites. Oh, someone bought... I sold both the Stein and the heavy short bow already. Alright. Yay, money! I didn't actually think those would sell that quickly. People are... The lazy tax is awesome in these games. People are like, I don't want to fucking grind for it. Give it to me. Alright. Alright, so yeah, summoning stones, pretty straightforward. Yes, there's nothing wrong with summoning stones. Question 23, should there be heroic dungeons? On this one, I had no opinion, because I don't really care one way or the other, to be fair. But it seems like most people said maybe. Depends on how they implement them. And the second most said yes. So I guess they're popular. I don't know. I don't think I ever did her. If I have done a heroic dungeon, I forgot. Should there be rated PvE in Classic Plus? So basically, is there Mythic Plus for like rating, Mage Tower, Prestige levels, all that? On this one, I said no, but it wasn't a hard no. Honestly, I probably should have put no opinion, but I put no purely because I don't like the idea of like too many like layers to those like systems and stuff. At the same time though, again, I'm not so firm on it. Like to me it just sounds like they're overcomplicating it to the point where it's going to become too basically I said no because it felt too much like we're turning what classic into retail was why I said no. I probably have the weakest argument for why I said no, but that's like the basics of it is I just don't want to I don't want the game to even feel like retail. And if we start adding in things like that, Mythic Plus and the like, I'm just gonna get confused between when we're talking about Classic and when we're talking about retail. Should there be rated PvP in Classic Plus? On this one, I said no opinion. Mainly because I don't do like battlegrounds and stuff that often. I like open world, like organic PvP most of the time. But I don't. I'm not a huge fan of like arenas, battlegrounds, dueling leaderboards. You know, I'm not crazy about that stuff. So I put no opinion, but it seems like most people said yes. So should AoE looting be implemented? Yes, that's just a quality of life thing. Like it's very annoying to have to click on every single dead NPC you just killed, especially when you killed like 4 or 5 and loot them individually. It's just an unnecessary extension of time. So yeah, AoE looting. I do not see the problem with that at all. What features of world buffs would you want to see in Classic Plus? Check all that apply. Fun. On this one, I said, which one did I say? Oh, wow, everyone said, oh, not everyone, but the majority said world buffs don't belong in raids. Damn. Okay, that's bold. No world buffs ever. Chrono Boom or variant non-spell. I think the one I said was alternative sources. I think that's the one I said. But yeah, on that one I wasn't sure. I think I said that or no opinion. How would you feel if Classic Plus trimmed the slow death of social aspect was the true WoW killer? It really was. Like Raid Finder and Dungeon Finder killed WoW as a community. Blizzard killed it from the lore perspective and later from like a expansion content standpoint. But what killed it community wise was Raid Finder and Dungeon Finder. That and all the on top of those two things, the bots. Like the amount of bots that just flooded into retail shortly after LFR and LFG. Yeah, I don't want that to be sacrificed for convenience. Again, I should say. Like FF14 thankfully is able to maintain quite a tight-knit community despite having a basically a dungeon finder. But I don't think WoW can survive doing it again. It just won't work out. I can pretty much promise that. Oh my ass. No, I got like my eyes suddenly felt really dry. So yeah, okay. How would you feel about Classic Plus trimmed the capabilities of add-ons? Weak auras. I don't run any add-ons at all currently, so I used to run Elf UI and like damage meter. Like those are the two. That and what was that one called? The one that shows you like the timing of like boss mechanics. Can't even remember it now. But yeah, like those were the ones I ran. Like I want to say during Kata and for the little bit of it I played during Mists, I think. But yeah, definitely during BFA I ran those. I prefer my add-ons and weak auras. Leave them alone. Okay, so most people want the add-ons. My answer was don't really care. It doesn't really affect me. Was mine. So I don't know. I'm pretty wishy-washy on this one. I don't use add-ons, but I don't want to actively inhibit other people's ability to use them. Question 29, should mount level requirements be lowered? This one I think was a yes. Most people said no. I can see why, and I think that's fair. I'm not like firm on my yes. I think yes just because to me it'd be a bit of a quality of life thing. I'm from the I think what people who said no's perspective is from is like, oh, new players. Like, okay, if you're a new player, you should walk the world, you should actually look around, you should properly like, if you're doing crafting and stuff like that, you should look for nodes so you can do your gathering, leveling. You should also fight NPCs along the way. You should actually take your time as you're leveling through the world, which I agree with. What I'm thinking of though is for alts. People's alts, they're going to have done it already, right? Like they're going to have already done everything, and they're going to want to more quickly expand through the world and get to a higher level. So that's what I was kind of thinking of. But I again, I'm not so firm on it. I'd fight over it. I think if people want to say no, that makes perfect sense. I think that's fair. Should their flying mounts be implemented? Now this, I'm very happy. Very, very happy with this percentage. Look at that. That is beautiful. Where was this energy? Where was this energy when they asked about the fucking dungeon finder, you fucks? But no. I said no. I think everyone should say no. The whole reason Cataclysm reshaped the fucking world was because of, well, not solely because of it, but one of the big factors was flying mounts. Because if you added flying mounts to the older zones, people were going to see how much of the zones were designed like a theme park. Like those flying paths you took with the griffins and stuff, those were designed to look a certain way. But outside of those, if you had free form to fly wherever you wanted, you'd see a lot of where they made holes and stuff where they didn't carefully map out everything. So the whole reason flying mounts could be added to older zones post Kata was because they redesigned the world so wherever you flew, you wouldn't realize where the devs cut corners and stuff, and where like the map was clearly not designed to be seen from that perspective. So yeah, but my firm answer is no. Leave flying mounts out. Just keep them on ground mounts. Should guild banks be implemented? Yes. I mean, why not? I guess would be a better question. Like, why? Why not? Should Classic Plus have achievements? Most people said yes. I said no. Again, I as much as I love Wrath, it started a lot of the trends that ruined World of Warcraft, and I don't think achievements ruined anything. But again, it's just another thing that retail has that I don't want to be reminded of while playing Classic. But if most people said yes, I'm not gonna say people are dumb for saying yes on this one. If achievements do something for them, fair, but not for me. Question 33, should reputations be streamlined / made easier to level? I said no. I like the difficulty that they're at Classic. Like, it makes you really work to be recognized, and I think that has value to it. People saying yes, I don't know why. Like, I just... Again, I think people are sacrificing a lot for convenience again, and I don't want history repeating itself. I want things to take time, effort, and difficulty to do. That's why when you streamline these things and make them easier to accomplish and achieve, all you do is devalue the people who now do it. Like, now their efforts and their progress was wasted because now it's easier to accomplish. So you devalue the people who already did it, And the people who are new to doing it don't value it because it didn't take a lot of effort to do. And I don't. For me, reputation... Yes, reputation is kind of like this minor thing that is just an unfortunate stopgap to some other things. But I think you should have to work for it. That's where I standpoint. So no, I don't agree with a yes, but people want to sacrifice a lot on the tome of convenience. How do you feel about adding transmog to classic? I had no opinion on this one. I still don't. Most people said transmog bad. I'd be curious to hear why, but at the same time, I didn't say transmog good myself, so I didn't care. Should a separate collections inventory be implemented? I said yes. Seems like most agree with me. That's just a quality of life thing. Should Classic Plus be allowed? GDKPs, Gold Dragon. I can't remember what the other two KPs. But GDKPs, for those who don't know, hey, Undead Nerd. GDKPs are basically like at the end of a raid or whatever. It's items basically being sold to people who want to. It's people being sold stuff. Actually, let me look up the proper description because I'm not gonna put it right. I don't think. Gold Dragon kill points. Okay, there you go. In WoW is a popular raid loot system where items dropped from bosses are auctioned for in-game gold. Okay, so yeah, I was on the right track. Yeah, so it's basically at the end of a raid or at the end of like a big thing with like bosses and stuff. The leader of the raid or the leader of the instance is going to collect all the items and then bids them out. I can't remember if GDKP is done by the leader of the raid or if it's done by like a system. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if I recall correctly, it's an auction system. I can't remember if the players are actually hosting the auction or if it's being done by a system in the game. But basically, you bid. Everyone like says like, "Oh, I'll pay 20 gold. No, I'll beat him. I'll do 30. I'll do 40 gold. 100 gold." Like it's that shit for like items. I don't like it. I think it's bullshit. Yeah. So, granted, I have limited experience with it, but I think I don't like it. It's not very merit based. It's not based on who did it, who needs it. It's based on who has the most gold, who wasted their life the most this week grinding shit to get to gold farm, or who hired a Chinese sweatshop worker this week to play their account and get them a shit ton of gold while they went to work. Like who did that? Okay, you get the item. No. So I'm very happy most people said no. Should the level cap be increased over from 60? I said, yeah. Well, I said depends how long after launch, I think, is also what I said. Although what I mean when I say that is it depends, because I wish they had provided this as an answer. But for me, it doesn't depend on how long after launch. For me, it depends on what they do for content. Like, if they create a whole new zone, or they bring back an old zone from, like a post-classic, or post-vanilla expansion, but they redo it to fit in with Classic Plus, I'm fine with that. But sorry, my throat caught. But for me, it depends very heavily on what they provide for content. If they provide us a whole new zone and a whole new series of questing to do out in the world and like a whole thing, basically they make an expansion in Classic Plus. But they don't call it that. They call it like whatever they need to for the update. Then yeah, I could see them being like, oh yeah, we'll push it to 70 or we'll push it to 80. Well, my thing is another question I would have added to the poll is, okay, and if they do that, what level cap should they provide? My level cap would be, 85. 85, absolute most, 90. Not 100. Once you get into the triple digits, it's just way too intimidating. As it is, 60 is pretty intimidating for a lot of people. Especially once they start leveling and they realize how slow it is. So, yeah. For me, it's very dependent on A, the content, and B, where the cap is going to be. Because we do need to cap it. It just, I don't know if I'm okay with the cap being at 60 or how far past 60 it should be. So it's very dependent on a lot of details we don't have. Right on, mate. See you later, Pink. Alright, I'm off going into work. Alright, see you later, Pierce. Have a good one at work. Yeah, I'm gonna be heading to work in about an half hour. Alright, depends how long after lunch. Launch would have to see. So question 38, should Classic Plus have new zones? Most people said yes, please. So did I. I would absolutely like to see new zones, especially if created from the perspective of Classic. I would absolutely love to see what they do with that. Question 39, if yes, where in Azeroth or beyond would be okay for you? Okay with you for these zones? Most people said anywhere in Azeroth. That was my answer. But the other answer I thought was kind of interesting to think about was anywhere in Azeroth and any other planet / dimension is fine. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm fine with Outland. It's like, potentially anyway. I'm fine with like Outland being a place we could go. That's the farthest I want to go. I don't want to go to Shadowlands level new places. I don't want to go to a whole nother fucking like planet. Like Outland at the absolute most would be me. So for me, I'd say more. I'm closer to anywhere on Azeroth. I'd stick with that. I am surprised how many people said only on the main two continents. Though 29.4% actually said that. Really, people really wanted to restrict it. Someone got gold. Alright, question 40. Should new content be added for leveling? Quests, low-level zones, dungeons? Yes, of course. Yeah, why not? Question 41. Should leveling be sped up? I said no, and everyone else seems to agree, so awesome. That gives me hope. Question 42. Should there be more class-specific quests? Yes, and I think everyone could agree on that one. Should there be... Well, not everyone, obviously, but, you know... question 43, should there be more epic quest lines like Rockdalar, Scepter of the Shifting Sands, etc.? I said yes. Like, again, why not? Really pump up the content. Question 44, which of the following best describes how you'd like to change in Classic Plus to old raids? Do all of the above, plus add new bosses and areas with them. I had no opinion on this one, so I'm going to stick with that. Should there be new raids? I said yes. Propose raids that already exist in the world, plus create new... Yeah, I said that one, I think. Should Classic Plus have new players, races, and if so, which of the following categories would be acceptable? New playable races that already exist in Azeroth. Yeah. I think that one's fair. Yeah, new playable races would be preferable to like just copy and pasting like Worgen and stuff like that. Although it'd be fun to play Worgen. Should Classic Plus have new classes? No. Most people said, oh, okay, that surprises me. Okay. Yeah, my answer was yes. The ones we've seen, but also completely new classes was my answer. I would like to see that, but yeah, I can understand why people want to keep it to like no. Should new race / class combos be added? Most people said yes. Okay, yes, but only stuff within the lore that... Yep, that's my answer as well. So, yep, keep it within the lore as long as it makes sense for the setting. Yeah, stick with that. Question 49. Should the Horde have paladins and the Alliance shamans? Yes. I said no. Leave it as it wasn't vanilla, but... Okay. Should classes be reworked to new base abilities and spells, class role combinations, etc.? Some new spells that... so most people said some new spells that modernize ability rotations. I didn't say that. I said some quality of life adds, but... fair enough. Of the following, what is the most important change needed to raid buffs and class... Jeez, how many more questions? Okay, I was about to say, I don't remember this many questions. Maybe I zipped through this faster than I thought. Question of the following, what is the most important change needed to raid buffs and classic? I had no opinion on this one, so I'm going to pop on that one. Should talent specializations be reworked? Yeah, I said somewhat, but only with a light touch. Should a fourth new talent specialization be added? I said no. But looks like it said most said yes, but limited to hybrid classes. Alright, that's fair. Should every specialization be competitive in both PvE and PvP? Most people said not in most cases, but vanilla hybrid classes don't perform well in PvE. I said no opinion on that one, because I'm still not sure on it. Question 55, should dual specializations be implemented? I said yes. Seems like most people agree with me, so that's good. Should new professions be added? Yes, new professions sound awesome. No, the original are fine, no opinion. I said yes. Like, obviously, yeah, adding some new stuff. It should. Last question, question 57. Should professions be updated to have more in-game relevance? I said yes. Make professions relevant. Absolutely. I stand by that. And that is just the intro survey. That was, like, girthy. Oh, God. I don't even remember it being that many questions. I was actually answering it. But now verbally like, describing and, like, going through each one, that is a lot. That is a lot. Oh, wow. You could break it down by experience, class, and faction. Wow. But yeah. That's the survey that was done for Classic Plus. Again, not hosted by Blizzard. So, it'd be interesting to see what is done with that. Ooh. I made money. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm enriching myself on other people's laziness. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Alright, so yeah. That's the survey. I think most people might have hopped out. Yeah, anyway. I suppose let's see here. Thoughts on orcs and WoW? I love orcs. They're my favorite race next to humans. Humans for bias reasons. Okay. Alright, let's... Before I head back to Westfall, let me see if I can grind some of those copper mines out in around Goldshire. But yeah, I don't know. I won't say I'm hopeful because I'm not optimistic. I guess I don't mean the same thing inherently. I'm hopeful but not optimistic for Classic Plus. It's Blizzard, it's modern Blizzard making it, so it's gonna be full of a lot of cringe bullshit, no doubt. I hope not. I hope that they understand the significance of, and to their bottom line, it's going to be to just maintain the tone and what people actually like about it. But I don't know. It's Blizzard. They don't do shit nowadays, and they're complete fuck ups. So we'll certainly see. But I don't know, man. What about Blood Elves? I don't know. They're kind of gay. Kind of. The men are very flamboyant. Let me put it that way. Very flamboyant. Sometimes the male Blood Elves have more sass than the females do. Bunny. The humans of Stormwind are pretty hardcore. They eat wolves and coyotes is like a default. Oh, come on. Didn't even need to use an ability on you. Ooh, small pouch. I could sell that for some silver. Charles, are you just asking about my opinion on each of the races one by one? Trolls were cool. Zandaloi ruined them. Made them special snowflakes. Which is annoying. Right, seriously, no copper vein around this rocky area? Come on, man. Yeah, no. Damn. Alright, I think I might have to go to the mine. The mines! Because I just want a quick, easy copper. And then, yeah, I'll do that off stream. I'll hop over to Westfall right now, I guess. Fuck. That's the wrong button. To Westfall!
Well met.
Just checking what she has. Perfume bottle. Okay.
Be careful.
Alright. Oh, I did get everything. Maybe. Would not know maybe. Alright, let me apply sharpening stone to my blade. My blade! Alright, so my one quest I still have at the moment is the the People's Militia. Defias Highwayman slain, Path Stalker slain, Knuckle Duster slain. I know there's like one related. Oh, I think there's one related to Murlocs as well that I haven't come across yet. Draenei? Kind of, for me, the black sheep of the Alliance races on an aesthetic front. Not because they don't fit an Alliance aesthetic, they do. I mean, they're fucking blue-skinned, so it's if anything, they're the natural mascots. But, I don't know, they're just kind of weird. And plus, their later lore with the I don't know. I hate how almost sci-fi they become. And like how they almost add, they borderline add sci-fi elements to Warcraft. So I don't know. I'd say for that, for what they did to the aesthetic and the lore, I'd say I don't hate or dislike them. I'd say I don't appreciate them like I used to. I used to think they were interesting. Thoughts on the latest Kurt Cobain rumors? I know jack shit about that. Nor do I care. And last I checked, he's dead. I'd care if he was brought back. Like, let me know if he's back from the dead. Worst race in WoW. Worst race. Are we just talking playable races, or are we just talking about overall? Oh, Coyote. Give me your meat.
I need to get
Give me,
closer.
give me. You will level my cooking, whether you are for that or not. Yeah, I got the meat. I can also get linen cloth if I kill these guys. Ooh, node. Gimme, 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 gimme. Hey, Calcio. Playable and non-playable? Oh, God. If we're talking up to retail, Volpera. Them or the... Yeah, I'd say Volpera. Volpera were added entirely to appeal to the creepy furries. Keep in mind what I said, not... I said creepy furries, I'm specifying. You no take candle. I take your candle, and I take your life.
I can't attack that.
Run, bitch. Alright, good. This is a pretty good place to grind a little bit of linen cloth. Plus some levels. Ah, I remember there's like 3 of those guys in there. Alright, hold on. Can I aggro you? Yeah, there we go. Because if you charge in the room, there's like 3 other guys in there. Nice, 2. Alright, hamstring you so you don't run away. And you did. I don't know, they're dying really easy. I know they're level 12 and I'm level 16, but I feel like I fought these guys when I was level 15 and I was getting killed by like 2 or 3 of them. I don't know, maybe I'm just on my game right now. Oh, my equipment didn't change, did it? Oh, my equipment's the same. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. No, unlive them all? You mean unalive them all? In best and worst god in WoW. There's not really gods. That's kind of the problem. I don't think there's really gods. There's the Titans. Wow, gods. Yeah, because there's the old gods, but they're like eldritch monsters, like from H.P. Lovecraft. They're Lovecraftian horror monsters. They're eldritch beings of madness and insanity. Not really gods. The humans worship the light. So there's that, but it's not the same thing. The light is the Naru, which it didn't used to be. The light used to literally just be like God, like Christian God, but they changed it. Granted, that was like orcs and humans. So they changed it, I think, as early as Warcraft 3 to just be the light, and then the light turned into the Naru. Alright, so is there... Oh, I don't think there's a node down there. I was kind of hoping for a node. Oh, that's why. Someone, while I was in the Stormwind, someone was buffing people and I got buffed. I was like, I wonder why I'm feeling so strong right now. It's like, it's because of the rallying cry of the Dragon Slayer. So I got buffed. Yeah, better take advantage of it while I got it. See, there are benefits to going to Stormwind. Potato, tomato. You meant Titans. Oh, okay. I think I have a favorite. When it comes to, like, deities and gods in Warcraft, they've always kind of just been set dressing. They don't really do much. Ah, fuck. Stop running away. God damn it. Hate it when they run away and they like aggro like 30 things on my ass. It's like, fuck me, dude. Alright, good. Linen cloth. How much do I have? Only 19. Okay. A fantasy without real gods, you? Yeah, I mean... yeah, I mean, the focus on them is very minimal. Like... Titan. I mean, if you're a WoW, like, lore fanatic, I'd say I'm not a fanatic. I like the storylines set in the setting. I'm not so obsessed with, like, the ancient lore of the setting. Titans. Wow. I know Azeroth itself, the planet, is a dormant Titan. Fun fact, Nico, since I don't know if it's been explained to you. Lindy probably said it to you, but if you've forgotten, because it is a lot of information to absorb at once. But within Warcraft lore, the Titans are hatched from world eggs. Basically, a planet is a Titan. It's a dormant Titan. So, for example, Azeroth is supposed to be a Titan, but a Titan that has not been born yet. She is still in her nascent state. And technically, that is a quote-unquote positive world-ending event. Is if Azeroth is born, all of us and all of Azeroth and everything we've ever done is going to die, but the cosmos will have gained a brand new Titan, and thus a new being of great power that could protect and preserve it. You're ironically passively working on a setting where there are a sort of gods, but they are extremely peripheral, and I don't really matter most of the time. And that's kind of true for Warglaive as well, with a lot of the gods I've set in that setting. They're very background lore, and I'm keeping it vague of whether they even exist or not. Oh, that node respawned already. Oh, that's fast. Trying to keep my somewhat messy inventory stocked well. Mine! Mine!
It's too far away.
More coyote meat. Short bastard sword of the monkey. Agility and stamina. Ooh. Oh, shoot.
I'm out of range. Not enough rage.
Alright, unfortunately, I have got to go and get ready for work. Ah, God, I really gotta start waking up early and doing streams if I'm gonna stream, because it does feel kind of wrong to do, like, only a 2-hour stream. Damn employment! Wait, are they nude? Just kind of standing out of nowhere, just, okay, they're following me now. Okay, I'm being followed by a naked woman. This could be good or very bad news. mind. She's not following me. She's hunting boars. In the neared. Seagulls. Mine, 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 mine. Right, give me your copper. Or came too close to Freakville and does not want part. Wait, what? Well, they exist in my setting, just don't expect that they will have direct involvement. Well, I'm not saying mine exist or not. I'm keeping it vague. I know if they exist or not, but the idea of them is they are not as active as like the Chaos Gods in 40k. Like 40k, we know the Chaos Gods exist. Their cults are everywhere. Their power is very influential and very apparent. There's no doubt the Chaos Gods exist in 40k. As also, they're very much active players in the greater setting. In my setting for Warglaive, not so much. They might be active, they might not be. It's going to be kept vague. Alright. Did anything else sell before? No. Okay.
King's honor, friend.
Actually, I might be able to. I'm.
Go with honor, friend.
I gotta remember that the lazy brain. No, I probably won't. Not a 6-slot bag. 6-slot bags aren't gonna sell. But if I find an 8-slot bag while I'm out and about,
I buy and trade.
that'll sell.
Farewell.
Thank you, madam. Alright. I'll get to the top of the hill, and then I'm going to have to call it a day, I'm afraid. I know it was a short stream, like I said, but, it's the nature of the beast. I don't know, I might stream more, Monday. Monday, I have the day off, thankfully. I'm really tempted to take today off, to be honest, but I can't afford to keep using my PTO. So, as much as I say that, I'm going to work. Can't be lazy. Oh god, it's just last weekend I did overtime on Saturday, and I guess my brain is in that state where it's like, why are we working 7 days a week? It's like, no, we're not. It's just temporary for overtime's sake. Oh god, I sound like such an old man. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in to today's stream. We'll be playing some more in the future. Again, Monday is probably the next day I'll probably do an actual stream, like one with actual length and substance to it. But in the meantime, it was good chatting with everybody. It was good seeing everybody. And I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye.